One of the toughest challenges a parent can face is parenting your children after divorce. No doubt it can be difficult and it can wreak havoc on your child's life far more than a divorce ever could, but you can prevent that from happening and help guarantee your children will grow up to be happy and self-sufficient and confident adults. And joining me now to explain the key steps to parenting after divorce is Our Lady of the Law, Felicia Walker. Thanks so much for being here, Felicia. So one of the things, and you see some people come into your office talking about, filing for divorce. It's not something that you obviously choose or probably wanted to go down, but there are extenuating circumstances, I'm sure. What do you talk to your clients about? I'm sure one of the most important things I think you would see is just getting a grasp on your feelings, and especially for the sake of the kids.
Right. Well, most of our clients, and usually, we see people before they're getting divorced where they're trying to outline the map of how they're going to raise their children together for the rest of their lives and their children's lives, because it doesn't end when the kids turn 18. There's weddings and graduations and all of that, and the child, no matter how old they are, if you're 40 or 60, if your parents are still alive, you want them to get along and not to have to choose between one or the other or have drama at your events. And so if we see them before they're divorced, it's really important, and even after, to set up a joint effort to how you're going to raise your children after you're divorced. You get divorced because somebody did something wrong, or you just don't like each other. There's a million reasons, but the facts are that 50% of people or more in second marriages, I think, are 80%, are dealing with divorce, and it's like a death. You hear about all of that because you're changing your life and going somewhere else. And so you have a lot of emotions that come with that. You may hate them because of things they did, or not be able to stand the sight of them or their smell, but you still have these children who love that parent no matter how good or bad they may be. And so that's the first advice I give to my clients, and it's easy for me to do, of course, but I'm divorced. I was a single mother for a long time, and it's just keep your emotions under control and think about your child. It's easy for us to react to them, but the most important thing is to keep calm and think about, how is this going to affect my son or my daughter when I'm dealing with my spouse? And if you keep that in mind, take deep breaths, deal with it that way, and then go tell your friend, your family, your dog, not Facebook, because people use that all the time against each other in court, but to be able to vent somewhere else and not in front of your children, not let them see you react.
Yeah, and you also say try not to get so involved in getting angry, to try to keep that. And that goes back to your emotions.
It's really hard, and they know how to push your buttons, but you have to do it for your child.
Yeah, and you have tips too, and we're going to walk through each one of these because you have 8 tips about when you separate with, your significant or insignificant other, I guess is the case it may be, what's best for the kids. And your first tip, you say when you talk with your ex-spouse, keep it neutral and professional, and that's especially in front of the kids.
Right. If you need closure on something, the best idea is to go speak to a counselor, because that ship has sailed, and you're not going to fix your relationship most likely, and people get involved in the details. They don't trust their partner to parent their children sometimes because of the things they've done wrong or mistakes they've made, and you just have to stop and view it really as a business relationship, and the business being your child. This is, you're raising your child together, and if we can speak to bosses who treat us poorly or have done things wrong, or we come in contact with people we don't like or have hurt us in some way, but this is the most important person in your child's life except for you. And you have to be able to keep that professional and neutral and not let the issues that cause the divorce to come into that. Yeah.
Another tip you have, don't make demands, make requests.
Right. It's all in the phrasing, how you say it. You can say, you're going to do this and you're going to do that, or, pick up the kids at this time and you better have them back. And that would change the whole dynamic. And it really makes it not only stressful for you and your life going forward and your ex-spouses, but the children see that, they pick up on it. You don't even have to say things. I know my children, I can walk in the room and they know something's wrong with mom. And so I've learned to try to stand outside the door, sit in my car for a few minutes, because it does make you angry. We're human beings, but to really just view it as calm, cool, and collected in front of your kids, and then freak out later on.
Yeah, when you're with your dog.
Right, with your dog.
All right, tip 3, listen. That's a big one.
Communication is one of the biggest problems in marriage, and it doesn't stop once you get divorced. And I think that if you stop and listen to not only your ex about their concerns over parenting or schooling or what's happening with your child, but also put yourself in their place and listen to your children. If they're making complaints about the other side, they're going to the house and, well, dad treats me mean, or the new stepmom is, a wicked witch or something like that. to know that children are sometimes manipulative, sometimes there is a problem. But if you listen to what they're saying and try to go from there, get counseling, whatever it needs to be, it's important to hear them.
Next one is don't give permission for your ex to push your buttons.
Yes.
Don't let them do it.
They've had a lot of training on how to push your buttons, and I think you have to learn to recognize it. You really have to learn how to be married to this person still. It's just married in a different way. You don't have to see them every day, and learn how to work those communications, because sometimes they do it because they're hurt, they're angry, you know, they want to upset you as much as they're upset. And the people and my clients that find ways to not let that happen and just let it roll off their, you know, like water off a duck's back, are the happier ones, and their kids are too.
Okay, we want to get through these next 4. We have a minute left. Tip 5, commit to frequent communication.
Yes, it's hard to do because you hate this person or dislike them,
yeah.
But the more communication that you give, hopefully in return you'll get more communication and know what's in your child's life. It's hard to go from seeing your child every day to every other weekend and a couple hours a week, and that communication is key, and your children cannot manipulate either one of you when you know and you're in constant contact with each other.
And number 6, you said this was probably one of the biggest ones. Agree to keep the rules the same at both houses.
Yes. One of the things that harms children the most, in addition to talking badly about the other parent and putting them down, is they have one set of rules at this house and one set of rules at the other. And of course, you're not going to be able to keep them exact, but the same bedtimes, the same, you know, you're not allowed to watch R-rated movies at my house or your dad. So that way, you know, it makes it easier for children not to pit parent against each other. Well, I get to, you know, have Disney mom or Disney dad. We call it that syndrome, where they just want to make it fun instead of being parents. And
okay, and tip 7, don't sweat the small stuff. And tip 8, do the little things that will make it easy for your child.
Right. We always, in our household, anytime that they have to go see their father or something like that, it's easier to go and drop the child off at the parent's house or meet them somewhere, because it seems like an exciting event. You get to go see your dad, or you get to go see your mother, instead of waiting around for the, you know, the time clock, or, you know, your child's not ready or dad's late, to physically go and make that something like you get to go see your dad or your mom, because we have a lot of men, we have a lot of clients that have custody of their children. And so it's both. We don't discriminate there. So just, you know, small things to make your child the most comfortable.
All right, a lot of advice. Thank you so much, Felicia, for being here. We appreciate that. Our Lady of the Law, Felicia Walker, and thanks for the advice. Emery, Kast, and Walker, of course, for coming on and sponsoring this segment. Remember, the biggest mistake they say you can make when facing any sort of financial hardship, divorce, what have you, is to do nothing. The legal team of Emery, Kast, and Walker, they say they understand what you're going through. They are here to help good people in bad times. Their website is www.jackslawyer.com. or call them 904-404-3394 for a free consultation to find solutions to your problems. They have offices in Jacksonville and also in St. Augustine.